Hey, what's up? Happy Friday. So what I'm gonna try to do with these videos is kind of like do health, exercise, diet related stuff, but also like the most important part of my life is sobriety stuff. If you know me, knows that, like, to me, the most important thing in my life, this might sound jacked, but above my kids, above my parents, above my wife, above my love for the Lakers, above watching football, above all that is my sobriety. I have a little bit over 5 years, March 5th, 2017, and it is single-handedly the greatest thing that I've ever done for myself. It was something that if I did not do, I was going to continue to go to jail. I was going to continue to be on probation. I was going to continue to make my mom cry. I was going to continue to be a cruddy dad, a cruddy husband or whatever, cruddy employee, you name it. Just drug addicts and alcoholics or scumbags. And I was a scumbag. I was a taker. I was a user. I was a mooch. I was a liar. I was a thief. I had a heart of gold. Don't get me wrong, but I was always looking out for numero uno and how I could continue to do opiates and how I can continue to drink without having to pay for it. It was just a shitty life, man. I had to come to a what they call in the program, a 12-step program, is a bottom. And I've been through multiple bottoms. Like, I went to jail. I got, lost a marriage. I lost my kids. I lost multiple jobs. And that really didn't stop me. It wasn't like those are pretty bad stuff, right? Most people would straighten them up, but not me. I was a full-blown garden variety drug addict alcoholic. I had to come to an emotional bottom where I just could not look at myself in the mirror anymore, where I would cry every morning because I knew that I had to get high. I knew that I was going to do drugs no matter what I said, no matter what prayers I said, no matter any of that stuff that I did. I knew that I was going to get high and drink and smoke oxys and do all that stuff, because there's just, once you're hooked, you're hooked. And I had to come to a bottom where I just couldn't stand the person that I was in the mirror anymore, and I decided to do something about it. I started going to multiple 12-step meetings a day. I did that for the first year, and second year I did 4 meetings a week, and I average now, even still, 3 to 4 meetings a week. No one is going to do it for you. No one can get you sober. My wife at the time couldn't get me sober. My kids couldn't get me sober. The judge couldn't get me sober. My employer, whatever, could not get me sober. It is, if it's going to be, it's up to me. You have to make a freaking conscious decision that this is over. I'm done. And not only do you have to make a conscious decision, but you've got to take action. You've got to do something. I love Jesus. I love church. But if prayer itself worked for a guy like me, for some people it works, but if prayer itself worked for a guy like me, I would have been sober 20 years ago. I had to take my ass to 12-step meetings, and I had to do the work and look at me and look at my character defects, look at the way that I showed up in relationships, look at some of the stuff that was done to me as a kid, and look at some of the stuff that I did as a kid, and I had a hole in my heart. But the good news is if you're willing to do the work, you can fill that hole, right? You can fill it with love, compassion, understanding, character, honor, integrity. So you can go to where no one wants you around, to eventually people are inviting you to come back around. Eventually your mom stops having to lock her purse in the bathroom when you come around. People start trusting you. You get, things get better, but you gotta be willing to do the work. Do you have the guts to do the work, or do you have the guts to keep dying? Because no matter what, like, eventually you're gonna die from this disease. I'm just an honest person, right? I could tell you that, rainbows are gonna freaking fall from the sky with Skittles and unicorns and all that. But if you're not willing to work and put the work in yourself for yourself, you are going to die. This disease is undefeated. So I invite you to freaking do something about your freaking knucklehead behavior, because there's solution right on the other side of that. I hope you have a great day. I love you, and let's get after it.